So come into a nice, comfortable seated position. As you know, you can use your, actually, let's come right into child's pose instead. Come into child's pose, two big toes together. And if you have your blankets or anything like that, you can use those. Stick them underneath your knees. Another nice spot is on the back of your calf muscles here in between, also underneath the ankles. I'm just giving you some options so that you can do this at your home practice when I'm not here. And you can also put a blanket underneath your forehead. So I don't have anything here now, but I'm just going to go ahead and come down. And I want to take my hands behind, let my forehead come towards the floor. Now, if you find that is not working for you this morning, just go ahead and bring your arms forward and just come into a really nice, relaxed child's pose. So you can have your knees together, or if you want to create more space for your belly, you're just going to take the knees wider and then let yourself just fold on down. And just stay here and breathe. Once you feel you can get into a comfortable position, so that's the key. If you're not comfortable, then just make your adjustments with your arms and then see if you can come and settle down. And just feel yourself breathing here. Just your natural rhythm for a moment. And then change your breathing, if you can, to a 5-5. So we're going to inhale for 5 breaths, exhale for 5, inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Okay, so you just do, if you like, you can do a cleansing breath here where you just inhale and exhale. And then begin your breathing. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you create your own rhythm here, breathing in and breathing out. And just let your shoulders soften, your arms soften here. And just try to really let go of everything. And as you breathe, see if you can breathe a little more deeper as you're inhaling on your count and exhaling on your count. Let your ribs fan out on the in-breath. You'll feel your breath in the back of the body. Feel your belly expanding, maybe even feeling it out to the sides, in between the legs. And as you exhale, feeling the belly kind of empty out. But again, no force here. If the hands are now behind you, slowly just reach the hands forward and just roll yourself back up. And now we'll come into a seated position in Sukhasana. So when you come and sit down, have your left leg in front. So some options here, you can kind of cross at the shins and keep your feet flexed. Or if you want to come into more of a relaxed pose, whatever that might look like for you, you can bring your heels closer towards your body. Wiggle around, sit up tall, close the eyes if that's helpful for you. And then from here, we're going to take our hands towards our left knee. So one on either side, and then gently forward fold as best you can. You can stay like on your fingertips here. So we're folding over the left leg, and feel that stretch now to the right side body, maybe down to your hip. We're not going to stay here for long. Just take a full breath in. Exhale, let it fall out of the mouth. And then begin to walk your fingertips now so you come over to your right side. So you can kind of stay in the same position on fingertips, or if it's accessible to you, you'll lay your hand, maybe it comes flat. Again, you don't have to be really precise on any of this. maybe the back of the arm comes down to the mat. And then the left hand is going to come back to your left thigh, and use your thumb kind of to open up your thigh here. Okay, so it's like you're trying to roll that open as you're leaning towards your right side. We're opening that up and just breathing here. So see if you can kind of anchor down your left hip, your left sit bone. It may not touch completely as you kind of spiral open the thigh here. And then you can also create a little resistance where you're pressing your leg kind of into your hand and your hand down into your leg. And then slowly go ahead and release that. And you're just going to let your left arm now sweep all the way forward. You're still leaning on the right. And then your arm comes up overhead, and then let that lift you up. And you release. And then you're just going to switch your legs, the crossing here of your legs. And we'll go over back down towards the right side. So two hands on either side of your knee or wherever it feels comfortable. Onto your fingertips, bow forward. It doesn't have to be deep here. Again, you might notice the left sit bone lifting from the floor. But take a nice deep breath in, fanning out the ribs, and exhale, empty out, forward fold. And then we're going to circle the hands. And we're going to come now over to the left side. So both hands down on either side of your knee, or you can come down on the forearm if it reaches, or just lay your left hand flat. And then we'll take that right hand again, and this time we're going to open up our right thigh. So you just kind of stick it into the thigh muscle, roll it open, and then you're leaning towards the left. And watch now the right shoulder again. A lot of times we have that rounding forward. So see if you can keep the shoulder lifting up as much as you can. And now as you open up the leg, option here if you like to kind of press your leg into your hand and your hand into your leg. And just watch your neck here. So sometimes it might feel nice to just kind of let the head hang. You can do some little motion here with your neck. However, if you find that letting the head hang is uncomfortable, then maybe you need to come up a little higher into your hand and make your adjustment. So we don't have to worry about necessarily spiraling the ribs open. However, if you'd like to try to open up, you can, but you can also keep the gaze looking down. Keep your right leg active here as you're pushing up and down at the same time. And now let's take the right hand again and slowly sweep it over towards the left. Can you feel that nice stretch through the right sideways? Inhale, lift all the way back up. And release. Now let's just sweep our arms up, warming up the shoulders. And as we exhale, we're just going to slowly sweep it down. In breath again, wide arms, nice big circle. Taking it down. Again, reaching up. This time as we exhale, maybe we just gently tuck the chin down towards the hands. Maybe you pause for a moment, close the eyes. We're just trying to feel stretched now here through the back of the neck. And watch as well that you're rounding the shoulders down or rounding through your upper back, still sitting tall here. And then an in-breath, we're going to inhale, lift the arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, release it down. Okay. And now let's just circle our arms. So we're just going to take, for instance, the left arm in front and lift it overhead. And then the next time that you open up the arms, cross the right arm in front. So we're just alternating which arm is in front. And we're just creating a nice big circle here. So warming up the shoulders. Don't worry if you get it mixed up and you're always having, for instance, the left arm in front. But just do your best here. Circling out, kind of see if you can even it out. You might notice a difference in one side and the other. And release. Now we're going to switch our legs here again. And take your arms now behind you again, sitting up nice and tall. Option here, if you can, you're going to interlace your shoulders. You can just press place them sorry on your low back and try doing some shoulder rolls here. If you find that your mobility is not quite there, just let go of your arms and let your shoulders circle behind you. Okay, now reaching your arms forward, which we've done in our practice before when we're flossing. So remember when we do this one, we're just reaching the shoulders forward and we're putting it back in the socket. So forward and lock it in. So again, this can also really tire your arms. It's a nice strengthener. And a lot of times we're rounding in our shoulders, right? Due to computer or sitting at desk. So this is a nice way to kind of find the shoulders, get used to locking them in place. And also for us to bring that awareness into our practice. We don't want to have those rounding shoulders in our practice. Okay, and your arms are probably warm. You can really shake that out now. And now let's come onto hands and knees. And then whenever you're ready, lift yourself up into your downward facing dog. First dog of the day probably, so just starting to pedal through your legs. And so when you're at home, I know you'll be doing your yoga practice every day, even if it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes. If you only got 5 minutes, do a downward facing dog and do some breathing. And so we're going to bend our knees if you like and just moving our bums side to side. So we're just shifting our heels to the left, bending the knees and shifting the heels to the right. And then coming right back to center. And just coming into some stillness here in our downward facing dog. Taking your feet hip distance apart and shoulder width. Finding the inner hands, rooting those down. And then knowing when you need to bend your knees a little or a lot so that you can begin to lift the hips up. Find that strength in your arms. Again, find your shoulders, kind of like when we did when we were flossing our arms. Find the shoulders in the sockets. And then slowly begin to walk your feet forward. Coming into a forward fold here. Bow in. So first forward fold here. Again, you might find the backs of the legs can be tight. The low back, you might even feel this in your bum. If it's too intense, make sure you bend those knees. Let your arms be floppy and heavy. Options here can be swaying side to side or rocking forward and back. Or maybe it's just nice for you to just kind of stay here in stillness. Fingertips down to the mat or holding onto the backs of the legs. And then really bend your knees here so that the belly rests onto the thighs. Set your fingers in front of the feet. And then inhale, lift yourself up halfway. Again, you can keep your knees bent as much as you like here. See if you can keep those fingertips towards the floor. And then exhale, bow, forward fold, release the hands. Try that again. In breath, bend the knees. You're really looking forward. Almost as though you're coming into a chair pose. Rooting down the feet. Exhale again, bow forward. One more time. Gazing forward, bend the knees. And exhale, forward fold. In breath now, rise any way you like, whether that's arms out to the sides or arms forward or hands at the hips. As we exhale, bring the hands right back into your heart and then release them now by your sides. So coming into Tadasana, just go ahead and lift up your toes as high as you can. Spread through your toes. As you spread through your toes, find your belly and just kind of naturally draw that belly in where you can feel the sacrum and the pubic bone kind of coming towards one another. And then go ahead and set the toes down. Maybe your eyes are closed at this moment. And then find all four corners of your feet. Maybe you visualize yourself in that sand or in the earth where you're kind of sinking the toes down. And so we find the strength of our feet. Feel that now ripple all the way up into your ankles. And then you begin to feel like your quads start to activate and lift. Feel the tailbone kind of lengthening, but not so much where you're really flattening the low back out. Keep that nice inner arch of the low back. And visualize as well that you have that block. We did that practice of the block in between your thighs. And so just kind of squeeze that. And again, feel how that really activates your legs, the muscles squeezing onto the bones. Hip points squeezing toward one another. Still feeling the arches and the quads lifting. And then let's bring our awareness now up to our collarbones. So feel the natural spreading of your collarbones. But then also notice your ribs. A lot of times when we feel this spreading of our collarbones, the front ribs were kind of lifting up this way. So instead of that, keep the collarbones spreading, arm bones kind of integrated into the sockets, just like when we're flossing. But then watch your front ribs. Don't let them pop out, okay? So the ribs are just kind of hugging inward, not out. A lot going on into Tadasana. If you like, just taking your hands in a prayer again. Find the length through the back of the head. And just feel your whole body engage. It's not that we're just standing here. We're really engaging the bones, the muscles, the breath. Bring in your Ujjayi pranayama now. And just notice as you breathe, Ujjayi, how that allows the breath to deepen, maybe even extending it in length. Release the hands again down by the side. Keep your right hand next towards the outer right thigh, and then inhale, lift the left arm straight up towards the sky. Watch that the shoulder isn't kind of reaching way up, it's coming up towards the ear. Keep the shoulder engaged in the socket. And as the fingertips reach, we're going to move into our side bend. The right hand might move down the thigh. And if possible, we're opening up the heart space. So instead of the left shoulder rolling down, we're just trying to stack our shoulders here. Using your next in-breath again, slowly lift up, release left hand down. We're going to go to the other side. Right arm lifts all the way up, shoulder in socket, fingertips reaching, and exhale, lean over to the left. And so in your practice, play with it. You can do a side bend seated at the beginning of your practice, or maybe you just feel like a morning where you want to just come right to standing. Let's slowly release one more time each side, lifting up and over. Watch again that we aren't collapsing here as well. So it's lifting up and then over. Slowly release, over to the other side, lifting up and over. And release. Okay. Next in-breath again. Reach the arms, circle them out and up. Look up towards the sky. And now as we exhale, bow forward. Bend the knees, lead with the heart. Forward fold. In-breath lifts us up halfway. Feel that nice length through your spine. And as you exhale, step your right foot all the way back, coming into your high lunge. Take a little bit of time here. Set the right hand down. Hook the left thumb into your hip. We're just gently drawing the hip up. We're trying to keep the left knee stacked on the ankle here. Hugging your left outer hip in. Set the right hand down, and then maybe we lift that left arm up. So we move into a revolved twist here. Again, don't let the left hip come out. Reach it all the way back. And then exhale, slowly release. Left hand now down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift through your heels. So you're coming onto your tippy toes. Feel that nice stretch here now through the shins, feel it through the ankles, the feet. And then as you exhale, can you let the knees kiss down towards the floor? And then inhale, pull your heart through into your cow pose. Exhale, round it up. Inhale, cow. And exhale, push back into your child pose. Let your fingers kind of spider forward, keeping the arms really active now, not like we did at the beginning of our practice where we allowed the arms to be relaxed. Now we're activating the arms here. In breath again, round through your spine, lift up. Come back into your downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, just like a wave, inhale, lift through the hips, round through the spine, come through to your high plank. Walk the feet back so you're able to stack the shoulders above the wrists. And then drop the knees. And however you'd like to come down, through half plank or knees, chest, and chin. Keep the shoulders lifted here. Remember, we don't let the shoulders sink down. And then scoot your belly forward. Set the tops of the toes down. Begin to really engage your legs here. Watch that the heels aren't falling out to the sides. Pubic bone down. And we're going to pull our heart through. It's not just about lifting the chest through. Pull your heart through your chest as you inhale into your cobra pose. Exhale, slowly lower. Curl the toes. If you like, pass through child pose here. Inhale, lift downward facing dog. Let's lift the left leg now towards the sky. Lift it up nice and high, but keep your hip points level. And then slowly step left foot in between the hands. Come into your low lunge pose. Uncurl the toes. Fingertips can stay down as you pull your heart through. Or maybe we lift our arms towards the sky. So same thing here of where we hug and wrap the left hip in. And then exhale, bow it down. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and let's step forward. Inhaling, lifting up halfway, exhale, forward folding, hinge at the hips or round, or arms reach forward. Rising towards the sky, exhale, hands into prayer. Release hands again, inhale, lifting up. Look up if that's available, and exhale, bow, leading with the heart. In breath again, halfway lift, forward fold. Left leg now steps all the way back. Remember, we're coming into our high lunge twist. Set the left hand down, draw your right hip back, and then we slowly lift the right arm towards the sky. Notice your back leg here. Is it kind of getting lazy here? Engage, energize your feet here. In breath, we open, we create length, and on the exhale, we open up and twist. Right hand steps down, step back, downward facing dog. Lift through the heels, bring the knees towards the floor. Inhale, pull the heart through, cow pose. Shoulder blades drawing together. Exhale, round up cat, feel the shoulder blades spread. Inhale, cow pose, and exhale, push back to your child pose. Fingertips reaching forward. Inhale again, lift to downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog again, wave forward, coming into your high plank pose. So plank pose isn't available. Always, once you move forward, step the knees down right away. Otherwise, if you can, you're going to hold in your plank, lifting up the back of the head. Energize the feet here. Notice how that engages your legs. Tap the knees down. Come down to the floor, onto the belly, and again, rise into your cobra pose here. Exhale, lower. Pass through child pose, and lift back up, downward facing dog. Right leg now lifting towards the sky. Exhale, step it through in between the hands, coming into your low lunge here. Pull the heart forward, fingertips stay down, or inhale, lifting towards the sky. Exhale, release hands down on either side. Pick up the back foot, step it forward. Lifting halfway, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way back up. And let's come back to our heart again. Let's try 2 more rounds here. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, maybe it's a swan dive, bow forward. Don't lose that ujjayi. Halfway lift and forward folding. Right leg now steps all the way back. Set the right hand down. Inhale, left arm lifts up, high lunge twist. Exhale, take it down, step back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift the heels, tap the knees down. Pull heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, round it up. Pull through again into your cow pose. And as you exhale, touch the bum back into your child pose. Inhale from child pose, lift to down dog. Down dog, smooth and easy transition to high plank. Drop the knees, lower to the floor. This time let's take our hands now behind and set them down on either side of your legs. Inhale, lift the chest. Maybe you stay here. Maybe the feet lift. Maybe the arms lift. But feel your crown reaching forward, toes and fingertips reaching back. Really use those muscles along the spine to help you lift through the chest. Set the hands down underneath the shoulders. Maybe the feet are still hovering. If you can, let them hover. Lift up the tops of the shoulders. Release the toes. Push through plank, half plank to child pose. And rise downward facing dog. Left foot now stepping forward. Moving down into a low lunge. Inhale, arms lifting up towards the sky. Let's move into a little bit of a side bend here. Left hand onto the hip. Right arm lifts up and then it reaches over to the left. And then slowly release. Right hand, left hand down either side of your foot. Lift up the back leg. Spring yourself forward, lifting up halfway. And exhale, forward folding. Inhale, rising up. Big stretch. And exhale into prayer. Find that mountain pose. Don't lose that form. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, bowing down. Lifting halfway and folding. Left leg steps all the way back. Let's take our twist now on the right side. Left hand sets down. Lift the back heel. Draw and wrap the right hip underneath as you lift the right arm up. Staying nice and strong here into the left hand and shoulder. Exhale, release down. Step back, downward facing dog. Lifting through your heels, can you slowly lower the knees as you lift your gaze forward? Pull the heart through into your cow pose. Exhale, round it up. Really spread through those vertebrae. Inhale again, pull forward. Exhale, start sinking your bum back. Come into your child pose. So you can stay here in your child pose. But for today, we're just going to lift up back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog again, like a wave, ripple forward, high plank pose, pull the low belly in, the sideways in, drop the knees, or if you like chaturanga, lowering down towards the floor, keep those shoulders lifted. Inhale either to cobra pose, or bring the hands behind, locust pose, or maybe you come into bow pose. Holding onto the feet or the ankles, flex through the feet if you're in bow pose. Inhale, push the feet away as you lift through your chest. And exhale, lower. Hands underneath the shoulders again, push through child pose. And inhale, rise to your downward facing dog. Just stay here for maybe 3 to 5 breaths. Whether that's stillness for you, or if you want to bend one knee and straighten the leg and pause and hold. Moving from one side to the other side. And sometimes it's helpful to kind of just shake the head out as well as a cue for you to just release the neck. And then we're going to step the right leg now forward. Let's come into a low lunge. Fingertips stay down, pull the heart through. Or again, maybe we inhale, lift the arms up, keeping the shoulders in the socket. Right hand onto the hip, and then inhale, lifting up and over. Slowly release. Fingertips down. Lift the back leg, stepping forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward folding. Let's just pause here instead of coming up right away. Holding on to the elbows here, if that's okay to do so. Remember, bend your knees here if you need to. Let your belly rest into the thighs. Or if you feel like the backs of the legs and everything is loosened up more for you, then hold onto the elbows. Begin to straighten out the legs. Let go of the shoulders here. And then slowly release the arms. Inhale again, rise up however you'd like to come up. Taking your hands back into prayer and grow tall again. Come back into your mountain, pausing here. Lifting through the chest, rooting down the feet. Release the shoulders down the back. Maybe you turn the head side to side to further release. Notice the belly. Keep the belly nice and firm to protect the low back here. And then as we inhale again, look towards the sky. Palms can touch here. If that's too intense, just take the hands shoulder width apart. And again, bend your knees and then slowly bow forward. You're coming through your half sun salutation. Inhale, feel your spine like that wave as you lift halfway. Head is last to come up. And then exhale, bow it down. Let's try that again. Head is like a wave. Inhale. Taking it forward and exhale, bowing it down. Set the hands down. Step or walk back to your downward facing dog. Lift the right leg again skyward. Hip points facing towards your mat. And then hug the knee in towards your chest, round through your spine here. So you're lifting into your tippy toes of your back foot. One more time as we lift that leg back up towards the sky. This time as we draw the knee towards the chest, let's just keep bringing it all the way forward, coming into your pigeon pose. So swinging the right heel out of your way, sliding the left leg back. So if you can, don't come into a forward fold here. Just see if you can kind of stay upright. Now, if you find that this is too intense, doesn't feel good on your low back, then yes, please come down into a forward fold. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay here, maybe onto fingertips. The back foot is pointing all the way behind you. And even if you can, have a look. Have that leg straight behind you. And then as you inhale, use your fingertips. Can you lift through the back leg, just kind of lifting the right hip away, and then let it sink back down. Lifting up, maybe even lift the back knee, and then let your back leg sink down. Look forward one more time. Lift up and lower. Walk the fingertips, the hands forward. Come into your forward fold here, into your pigeon pose. And then as you inhale, rounding up through your spine, walking the hands back towards your knee. Curl your back toes, and as best you can, step back into your downward facing dog here. Once you arrive in your downward dog, again, three-legged dog, lift the right leg towards the sky and then step it through between your hands. We're going to come up into warrior two. So pivot that back heel down. Really engage both feet, lift through your toes, and then let those sink down. Hands can come onto your thighs if you like, and come up. Or left arm reaches forward all the way up and behind you. coming into your warrior two. And just take your time to reposition yourself. Back foot for some people can be parallel. I like mine turn in just a little bit. And then you're going to begin to sink down. Spreading here through your arms. Maybe coming into some stillness here. Right knee over the ankle. Arms reaching out nice and long. And then very slowly come into a reverse triangle. So we're just going to slowly drop the back hand or reverse warrior. Flip the palm. And then begin to straighten your front leg as you slowly reach that right arm up and over. And then you'll just see what works for your gaze, whether that's kind of behind you, looking forward towards the front of the mat. And then really reach with this top arm. And then see if you can kind of cut the left hip in, and you're going to lift through your right hip here. So see if you can get that right hip maybe even a little higher as you lift up and over. And then you also want to watch that the right knee isn't turning in, okay? Keep the right knee in place here. And then slowly begin to bend the right knee and then set your right forearm onto the leg and lifting left arm now up overhead. So if it's not appropriate for you to lift it overhead, straight up, or maybe the hand just stays here onto your hip. Taking the left shoulder onto the back. If it's okay to lift the arm, lift it all the way up and kind of wrap your tricep towards your face. Okay, and then with another in-breath, slowly again lift back up, slowly transitioning from warrior two to your reverse triangle. And let's go right back again into side angles. We're just taking it nice and sweet and clean, just this rocking motion. And coming back into that side angle. One more time, lifting all the way up, coming into your reverse triangle. And then let's just come right back down into this side angle again, wrapping the tricep towards you. And then slowly take the hands down on either side of your foot. And the back foot, you can begin to start to turn it a little bit further forward. And actually, let's take the right arm on the inside of the right leg. And then if you can, you're going to lift your front toes. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm lifting my front toes. Now, if you find it too much to have your right hand on the inside, just take it back out to the outside. Maybe you even want to walk your hands back behind your foot. So all that I'm trying to do is lift my toes and then stick my bum back. Bend the left knee here. Kind of think of it like this, I don't know, a ninja lunge. And then walk the hands forward. Take the right hand now, set it down on the inside of the right foot, and then inhale, lift your arm up. So we're going to come right into our side angle here, if you can, with your hand down. And then slowly release the left hand back down. Right hand can either stay where it is or take it on the outside of your right foot. Lift your right toes, maybe that's as far as you go, or begin to bend that left knee, walking the hand back. One more time, walking forward, right arm on the inside, placing your elbow against the leg. Inhale, side angle here, lifting your arm overhead. And then slowly release. Now, we're going to turn our back foot so it faces towards the front of the mat. Both hands now are on the inside of your right leg. Just drop the back knee, come into your lizard lunge. Uncurl the back toes, and then tick-tock your right foot. Kind of bring it over to maybe even the outside of your mat. And then we're going to stay either here onto your hands, or if it's available, you'll come right all the way down onto your forearms. If it feels comfortable for you to do so, you can start to turn onto the edge of your pinky side of your foot here. And then inhale, lift yourself back up, tick-tock that foot in, deep hip opener, curl the back toes. Now let's just step right back, downward facing dog. Drop the knees, come down into child pose. Rounding through your spine as you breathe. Feel the breath in the back body. And then when you feel the fuel, get that inner fire going, lift right back into your downward facing dog. Two big toes can come together as you lift that left leg again skyward. And then we're going to hug it in towards the chest, round through your spine. Wrist stacking and shoulders stacking. Lift the left leg back up, three-legged dog, and then just step it through. Coming back into our warrior two, pivot the back heel down, and see how you'd like to transition up. Is it hands onto the thighs, or you're going to let that right arm circle all the way up, lift you into your warrior two. Take your hands to your hips here if you like, till you can kind of figure out your warrior pose, the placement of the feet, front heel to the inner arch of the back foot. And then maybe see how far you can come down into your warrior pose. So in our warrior pose, again, kind of cut that left hip in, lift the right hip. We're trying to grow tall now through the sideways. Extend through your arms. And then let's slowly take that reverse triangle, setting the back arm down, front arm lifts up, and we start to straighten out that leg. Feel the the right hip cutting in, left hip is lifting up, 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 and then slowly come back down. Warrior two, transition into your side angle. So same thing here with the side angle. Maybe the right hand stays on the hip. We stack the shoulders. And again, see if you can kind of sink down into your lunge. We're trying to bring the right knee over the ankle. Top arm again lifts towards the sky. Maybe you turn that tricep towards your face. In breath again, slowly lift up, warrior two. Into your reverse triangle, straightening out that front leg. Feel that nice stretch here. And slowly again, side angle. Arm up or staying onto the hip. One more time, inhaling, lifting up, straightening through the front leg. And then exhale slowly again. Come back down, hold into your side angle for a moment. Letting that left hip slowly come towards the floor. Whoo, whoo, whoo. And then we'll take both hands down on either side of the foot. Turn your back foot forward. And now go ahead, take that left hand on the inside of your foot. Kind of tick-tock it out towards the side. And we're going to come into our side angle here. Lifting your right arm up towards, straight towards the sky or overhead. Feel your left arm gently pressing against your left leg. And now let's take that right hand down. Left hand can stay where it is, or again, take it on the outside of your foot. Start to bend your right knee as you peel your left toes away from the floor. Maybe you walk your hands all the way back and feel as though you're driving your left sit bone toward the back of the mat. Come forward again, taking left hand on the inside. Inhale into your extended side angle. And then exhale into that ninja lunge here, bending the right knee. See if you can straighten through the left leg. Last time, side angle here. Left hand on the inside, lift up. Exhale, ninja lunge here. Inhale, turn the back foot again so it faces forward. Left arm on the inside of the foot. Tick-tock your foot out to the side. And then go ahead. Drop the back knee, uncurl the toes. And we can come all the way down onto our forearms. Exhale through the mouth. And because I didn't do pigeon on this side, we're going to do it now. Lift up again into the hands, tick-tock the foot in. And so you can come into pigeon pose here if you like, where we go ahead and lift the left foot away from the floor, place the knee down and slide back. Or if it's more appropriate for you, just come right back to your downward facing dog and then bring the left knee forward, slide it back. So take that right leg straight behind you. Inhale, lifting up, or right away come into your forward fold. So if you can, you're going to plant the hands down or stay on fingertips. Use your foot here to see if you can inhale, lift the left hip up, and then exhale, release it down. Maybe opening up your heart, draw the shoulders back. In breath again, lift up. Maybe you curl your toes and you want to lift your knee all the way from the floor. Exhale, set it down. And lift through your chest. One more time again, lifting up. Set the leg down. Pull through the heart and then exhale, bow it forward. Bringing your forearms down, maybe the forehead comes down to the mat. Reaching right toes all the way back. And then once again, coming back up onto your hands here. Curl your back toes. Step back, downward facing dog. But we're not going to stay here. We're just going to walk the feet forward. Coming all the way forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Take the feet hip distance apart. Exhale, forward fold. In breath again, rising all the way up. Hands come into prayer. And then slowly release the hands. Keep the feet now hip distance apart. Inhale, let the arms reach towards the sky. Shoulders and the arm bones. And then exhale, come down into your chair pose. Let your arms reach forward, so whether you want to reach them directly all the way forward or lift them up by your ears. Pull the belly in. And now from here, take your hands into prayer. You can stay in your chair pose, or if you'd like to try, inhale, lift up a little ways. Take your right ankle onto your thigh and then sit right back down. And see if you can keep your hips parallel here as you sink down into your chair pose. Now using your breath, the strength of your leg, inhale, lift up just a little bit. And we're going to come into warrior three pose. Hands can stay into prayer or take the arms behind or reach them forward. Reach out through your toes, out through your crown, and then slowly see if you can step those right toes all the way back and inhale into your crescent lunge. Now in your crescent lunge, just release your hands towards your hips for a moment. So the left leg is bent here. And now go ahead and bend your right knee. So feel how the right hip, you want to have that lifting up and away from your leg here instead of leaning forward. Now can you keep that and begin to straighten out your right leg? See if you can keep that engagement. And then inhale, lift the arms back up towards the sky. And exhale, release hands down to either side of your foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Down dog, lift the heels, drop the knees, inhale into cow pose. Exhale, round it up. Inhale through cow, exhale, child pose. In breath, round through your spine right away. Lift to your downward facing dog. Down dog to high plank. Drop the knees, lower down to the floor. You choose bow, cobra, locust pose. When you're ready, inhale, rise. And exhale, lower down. Curling the toes again. Push through your child pose. Lift to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts towards the sky. Step it through. In between your hands, drop the back knee, low lunge. Inhale, arms lift towards the sky. Exhale, release the hands down. Lift the back knee, step the foot in a little, come into your pyramid pose. Drawing the left hip back. Maybe the nose comes towards the knee. Inhale, stepping forward. Feet hip distance apart, lifting up halfway. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Right away, exhale, come down into your chair pose. Too much for the arms, take the hands into prayer. Stay in your chair pose or inhale, lift up, take left ankle onto the thigh, draw the hips back. Flexing through your left foot. Inhale, lift the left knee, and then scoot your foot all the way behind, coming into your warrior three pose here. Draw the belly in. Inhale, start bending the right leg, slowly step left toes back. Inhale, arms reaching forward, coming into your crescent lunge. Let's go ahead here again. Bend the back knee, take the hands to the hips. Tuck the tail, feel the right hip lifting away from the right thigh. Keep that if you can, and then begin to straighten out the leg. Inhale, arms lift towards the sky. Exhale, set them down, step back. Downward facing dog. Come down dog. Just drop the knees. Inhale through your cow pose. Exhale, round it up, cat. Big breath in again, heart pulls forward, cow. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, round through your spine from child. Lift to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, feel that wave come through to high plank. Drop the knees lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, lower. Push back, child pose. Lift to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts towards the sky, step it through, low lunge. Arms lift all the way back up. And exhale, release them down. Curl the back toes, step the foot a little bit forward, coming into pyramid pose. Trying to straighten out the front leg, drawing the right hip back. Inhale, stepping forward, lifting halfway. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rising all the way up. Hands come into prayer. Lift through your heels. Draw the shoulders down the back. Now, if you like, from here, we're going to lower to the floor, staying either with the heels lifted or set the heels down. We're going to bend the knees, come all the way down. Maybe your bum comes down to the back of the legs, arms reaching forward, and slowly roll your bum down. Set down the feet. Take your hands now down by your sides, and we're going to roll down through your spine. Set the head down. Draw your knees now in towards your chest. Just a gentle rock side to side. And then let's set the feet back down, hands on either side of you. Feel the backs of the shoulders, even lift your chest up so you can kind of get your back out from underneath. Set it back down. Step down the feet as you inhale. Lift the hips up, coming into your bridge pose. And just keep that even distribution of your back bend. So not only from your upper back, but also here in your hips. So you want to keep the hips kind of lifting, the chest is lifted, but we're also reaching in opposite direction. Hands come down by the sides. If you like, you can interlace the hands. You're going to step the feet down, use your belly to support your back bend. Slowly take the hands out from underneath the shoulders and then roll down through your spine. Tick-tock your feet now out to the sides of your mat. Turn the feet out and let your knees drop over to the left. Just those wiper legs, let them drop over to the right. And so you just slowly move side to side. And then come back to center. And let's just cross the right leg over the left. If you can hold onto the feet, the ankles, the shins, wherever you can reach. It's kind of just like you're opening your feet out to the sides. You can gently rock side to side here. You can stay in stillness, or if you like, you can straighten out one leg and then try straightening out the other leg. Or maybe you straighten both at the same time. And then from here, you can keep the legs crossed if you like. And we're going to reach the left arm out to the side and then let your legs fall over to the left. Now, if you find that too intense, just uncross the legs, just kind of stack the knees, one on top of the other. And then you just determine where you want to turn your head here. Pull your belly in, use your core, lift legs back to center. Now, if your legs were crossed, we're going to uncross the legs and then take the other leg on top and gently again rock side to side, or that option of extending one leg up and the other. Both legs can also lift, or you just hold and rock side to side. Keep the knees again as they are. Let your hips kind of lift up over towards the left and let your knees now fall over to the right. So if you're finding like, nope, this is too much for my back here, let go of the legs, uncross the legs and let them fall over. If you've lost that ujjayi, just come back to that breath. Now your next exhale, belly towards spine, knees lift back to center. Put your feet down and bring your back all the way flat onto your mat. We're just going to lift the legs up and the arms, give a shake out. You can even make noises with your mouth if you want to loosen up your face. Just really loosen. And then let's just take your knees back in towards your chest. Hug them in. It's kind of like child's pose on your back. Maybe again, rocking side to side. It's just a nice way to release the back, hip flexors, your sacrum. And then slowly release feet down. And then taking your feet to the corners of the mat, if that feels appropriate for you, into Savasana. If it doesn't, you can keep the the feet onto the mat. And maybe you might even like taking the feet nice and wide and letting the knees fall inward. So if you would like to cover up, grab your blanket or place it underneath your head. And even open up your mouth nice and wide. And then closing the mouth. If you need to leave, it is 1:45. Otherwise, if you can stick with me, if you don't have anything else happening, stay here and we'll just stay in Savasana for probably another 5 or so minutes. So once you find that comfortable position, let go of any effort of the body. Let your physical body just sink into your mat. So feel the softening here of your hands and of your feet, your eyes and your ears. The tongue is resting in the mouth and the belly is soft. And then allow all these places in between as well to soften. So the legs, the hips, the chest, the back. your neck. You can feel the heaviness of your head, and maybe your shoulders are sinking back into your mat. And just allow your body to take up space. And once you feel that your body is so comfortable where you don't need to fidget, we're going to bring our awareness to our breath. So feeling that soft rise and fall of your breath. And then from here, we're going to change it up even further. We'll be inhaling for a count of 5 and exhaling for a count of 7. However, if you find that too long, you just cut down the time so that you're not really having trouble breathing here. Let it be comfortable. So if a 5 inhale is good and a 7 exhale, then you'll stick with that. But before you begin, take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And exhale, let it fall out of the mouth. Completely empty out. Now breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue now on your own, your 5 to 7 count. As you're inhaling, softening around the throat. It's a deep breath in, but it's not hard. And as you exhale, let it be complete, but not that you're really squeezing everything out. So see if you can stick with this breathing. Your practice is to come back to the breath cycle. If you've lost your way and you begin to think, when you catch yourself thinking, just keep coming back to breathing in for 5 and exhaling for 7. Breathing in for 5 and exhaling for 7. Soft but deep. Softening around the throat, the chest. Breathing. Letting go of the breath on the exhale. Now slowly on your last exhale, let go of this breath. You can still breathe deeply here, but let go of the 5/7 count. And without any movement, just bring your awareness to your hands, Feeling your palms. Without moving the toes, take your awareness there. Awareness to the four corners of your eyes and to the inner and outer ears. Awareness of your tongue resting in your mouth, traveling down through your throat and down into the belly, softening. Now begin to spread through the fingers, spread through your toes. Maybe the mouth opens and closes. Maybe the arms reach out to the sides or overhead. And then whenever you're ready, bringing the palms together, let's rub our palms together. Create that heat. And then washing the face, placing the hands on your eyes, your cheeks, or wherever it feels good to let them rest. Hands come back into prayer towards your heart. And just gently bowing your head, taking a moment in gratitude. Feeling the length still here through your spine. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.